All right, so hear me out. It's a little bit of news, but it's going to give a lot of people peace of mind. Hey there, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to McFly, my little corner on the internet where I just sit around here and talk about video games and stuff. And in this one, I'm here to talk about a game that has been prolonged for close to 8 years now and has gone radio silent as of late. And in that being Telltale Games and their current development possibly on The Wolf Among Us 2. Now, if you clicked on this video and you're watching this far, 1, thank you for watching. And 2, chances are you're probably already a fan of The Wolf Among Us, whether you've played the game or you're an OG fan that's read the graphic novels. Whatever the case may be, we're all in the same boat here. We're all waiting for the highly anticipated The Wolf Among Us 2 from Telltale Games. The original came out something in 2011, sequel was announced in I want to say 2017, we got a trailer eventually, several trailers eventually, but one saying it was going to be in 2023, then pushed back to 2024, now pushed back to our year of the Lord 2025, and here we are still waiting, and it seems things have gone really radio silent. Until now. Probably in the most unexpected way also. Here we are, we move over to their Twitter. I don't really call it X, so it's Twitter. Glad we got past that. And this is what I do for most of my video game news. I head over to Twitter. They're usually the most vocal on their Twitters. And then my main thing is I like to go on their Twitter, and you can check out the account's replies. And I'll go on here, check it out every once in a while. And for once, they actually replied. Not to me, somebody else. But we'll get into that. It's also another really good YouTuber you should check out. He was just being funny and they responded to him. But first off, they sent out a tweet like this. And it was just, you know, your standard tweet from a game developer saying, hey, all of our stuff is on sale. Get 60% off of the Batman Telltale Suite. It's actually really good. I like it. Go play it if you haven't. But that's not the point why we're here. But then you scroll down, and then here's the YouTuber DomTheBomb. If you haven't heard of him, he does gaming news, just upbeat. I want to say Naughty Dog. He does a lot of Telltale. Like, he's following this like a hound dog, and that's why I think they responded to him most. He's been keeping the hype alive in the update train. So I'm kind of throwing my hat here and here. I'm going to start paying attention to what's going on. He put this funny picture up he made of Bigby just looking out into the sea. It kind of reminds me of that Narcos meme where he's just sitting around, I hit a button, doing nothing. And they actually responded to him. They said, nice image, and The Wolf Among Us 2 is still in development. We'll say more when we can. That's all I got. I mean, it's the most we've had in so long that at least confirms that it's still in development. We've all been thinking that it's been canceled, or like, did this get shadow canceled, and they're just hoping nobody says anything about it. But here we go. Final confirmation. Granted, it could change tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, they also responded to another person here, Rich C. I don't know if that's a YouTuber. It's mainly just that little bit of news keeping our hope alive. There's just been so much turmoil in the whole Telltale journey. They've given us so many good games, and it just hasn't worked out financially, especially when they did get their little comeback here. Like, they closed down. They had their little comeback. They had The Expanse, which is right here, which is what they try to push. I've never played it. I've never watched the show. Apparently, it's a prequel to that show. But I guess it didn't go well when it sold originally. And I guess it led to some layoffs. Like I said, there's just a lot of ifs, ands, or buts when it comes to Telltale and the game they're making. Whatever the fact may be, I hope we get The Wolf Among Us 2 eventually. And now also, before we close out of it for the day, I do want to add the little snippets that I have found and that I learned just looking into it every once in a while. It might be interesting for some people who are looking for more little tidbits before the game actually comes out. But doing all my searches, I eventually found this Steam page. It says here the development is also from Ad Hoc Studios, which seems to be other Telltale developers that split off and created their own studio. They're creating another narrative single-player game called Dispatch. There's actually a demo out. You should check it out. Kind of like a superhero social sim with Telltale elements. But hopefully there's some kind of cross team in there that they're helping each other out, and maybe they're throwing each other work to work on this. But along with finding that Ad Hoc is also in development with it, I also found this pretty interesting description, which gave me a few little tidbits that I didn't know about the season coming. It says The Wolf Among Us 2 picks up 2 months after the events of Season 1, which was news to me. I didn't know when the timeline on this was. And the setting for us, it's winter in New York City, and a new case threatens to cross the line between Fabletown and the NYPD. And then, of course, how you choose to approach could determine the future of Fabletown community and all that, blah, blah, blah. Basically, Telltale Games stuff. But I thought that was pretty interesting when I first read that. I didn't know it was going to be winter, but it makes more sense now. In all the media I've seen, Bigby's wearing a big coat. I think that's enough rambling for me today. The Wolf Among Us 2, I can only hope we see it soon. We're just playing the waiting game again, but at least this was nice to see. I mean, technically this is official, but officially, it's still radio silent. It'd be cool if they put out another trailer. They have to understand it's been forever by now. Another trailer is not going to hurt. At least give people more hope that it's still on its way. Or even some kind of deep dive into the behind the scenes of how it's being made. I like how a lot of gaming developers these days, they're making VODs to go along with game development. So it kind of like breaks that wall between gamer and game developer. You get to see more behind the curtain. I wish more game developers did that, especially for a game like this. Like if they're in development hell, show us why. Maybe, I don't know, let us be a fly on the wall. I think it could be interesting. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're as excited for The Wolf Among Us 2 as I am. Hopefully, again, we see it this year. A part of me thinks it's going to be in 2026 now because it just, I don't know, a lot of stuff is moving to 2026. It looks like 2026 is going to be a big year for games. I don't know, mark my words, but I'll catch you out there in the next one. Uh-oh.